Welcome, dear voyagers. I'm your sleep captain, Arthur. Every night we embark on a journey towards relaxation and rest, led by the comforting tones of Sleepy Voyages. Our goal? To guide you gently into the arms of Morpheus, where you can enjoy the soothing balm of sleep. Every episode, we take you on a new adventure, weaving together timeless tales and mindful meditations, each one aimed to inspire as much as it soothes, to let you face a new day, richer in spirit and wisdom than the one gone by. Today, our journey carries us across time and space to ancient Greece, where gods played with the fates of humans and legendary creatures roamed the earth. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing on a warm, sandy beach, the setting sun casting everything in a golden glow. Ancient Greece, a land of myths and timeless wisdom. Our story tonight, the tale of Medusa, and through her sorrowful origin, we will uncover the overwhelming power of forgiveness. But just as the soothing waters of the Aegean Sea gently wash over the feet of those who stand on its shores, so too does our voyage start, not with a tale, but with your peace of mind. Before we tuck you in tonight, voyagers of the night sky, we have a small but crucial request. As your eyelids grow heavy and the soothing tones of Sleepy Voyages guide you to the realm of dreams, remember the peace, serenity, and comfort that we bring to you every night, just as a lighthouse guides lost ships in the darkness. Your reviews help other restless dreamers find their way to us. By leaving a review and sharing your thoughts on your experience, you are reaching out to other insomniacs lost in the night, guiding them towards restful sleep. Take a moment before you drift away to click on the Leave a Review button on your podcast app. Help us extend our galaxy of tranquility to all those who seek the solace of sound sleep. And once you've done that, feel free to slip back under the covers of our sleep stories, ready to be whisked away on another sleepy voyage. Remember, your stars light the way for others. Every review, every rating helps us create a bigger, more beautiful universe of peace and rest. Stay with us as we now turn our attention inwards, focusing all our senses on this moment, preparing for our voyage in the realm of dreamy tales and calming meditations. Together, we'll see the tortuous path of Medusa, unravel the power of forgiveness that lies beneath her tail, and bring back this wisdom to our own world, our own hearts. Prepare, voyagers, prepare to delve into the tale of Medusa. Reveal its hidden learnings and finally surrender yourself to the waiting embrace of tranquil sleep. And remember, as we brave the stormy seas of ancient Greece, the soothing currents of forgiveness are but a breath away. I am aware that many among you are here holding on to that sweet urge to drift off to a peaceful sleep. Your mind may be abuzz from the humdrum of the day, your body aching for a respite from the harsh symphony of reality. And so I applaud you for consciously choosing tranquility and serenity. Tonight we embark on a journey of peace, letting our subconscious explore the landscapes of dreamland. There is magic in restful sleep, and you are here to encounter that enchanting sensation. Tonight's tale is no ordinary one. It is a tale of antiquity, a beacon of myth adorned with legacy and lessons that transcend time. A story that encompasses not just the picturesque landscapes of ancient Greece, but also the intricate and colourful pathways of the human heart. I would like to introduce the theme of tonight's voyage: the overwhelming power of forgiveness. By embracing this episode, you're spreading your arms wide open, ready to receive the lessons embedded within our story. It's a tale from a bygone era, filled with captivating characters and dramatic twists, yet it has a fresh relevance, echoing the timeless resonance of forgiving oneself and others. And to truly appreciate and absorb its profound teachings, I invite you all to unclutter your thoughts, give in to the calm of your surroundings, and prepare your hearts for an invaluable lesson. So, my dear audience, breathe in the peace and let yourself be guided by the serene quiet of the night. As you gracefully settle into your resting position, I wish to offer you some comforting guidance. You are here because you're looking for peace and tranquility, and that's exactly what we will help you find tonight. Let the inviting warmth of your bed and your soft pillows embrace you. Feel the tension leave your body, neck to toe, as if gravity wants to be gentle with you tonight. Concentrate on your breathing. Oldest trick in the book, yet it works every time. Let's try it together, shall we? Inhale deeply, as if you're trying to capture all the goodness in the world within you. Then exhale slowly, letting out all your stress and worries with it. Now, let's do this together once more. Breathe in, embracing life and its calmness. Then breathe out, saying goodbye to any restlessness you have left in you. That's it. You're doing wonderful. Whenever you feel your thoughts drift away, bring them back to your breathing. Be here now fully with me in this comforting way, we shall embark on our peaceful journey to the ancient world of Greek legends. Now that you have settled down comfortably, let's take a moment to invite serene visualizations. Take a moment to imagine yourself standing on a tranquil beach. The golden sand beneath your feet is warm, and it gently massages your heels and toes. The sun is setting, casting a radiant glow of deep oranges, beautiful purples, and passionate reds across the horizon. You are standing at the edge of the water. The gentle waves of the sea rhythmically kiss your feet before receding back into the vast expanse of blue. Imagine these waves as the infinite embrace of Mother Nature, taking all your worries and stresses away each time the water caresses your feet. As we continue to stand in the gentle ocean's ebb and flow, let us take a moment to reflect on the power of these waves, constant, unending, washing away what was before, and bringing the new over and over again. It's much like forgiveness, wouldn't you say? Much like these waves, forgiveness has the power to wash away the heavy burden of resentment, leaving us refreshed and imbued with new energy. And like the shore that stands steadfast, welcoming each wave, we too can learn to stand resolute in the face of adversity. Feel the warbling strength of the ocean's rhythms peacefully beat against your toes. Absorb the repetitive lull, the whispering rhythm of waves, every inhale bringing peace and every exhale carrying away unnecessary burdens. Feel your muscles relax more with each breath, the rhythm of the waves synchronizing with your gentle inhales and exhales. Just like the mighty ocean has the power to create calm and wash away debris, you too have the inner strength, the overwhelming power of forgiveness to create emotional tranquility. Imagine every wave that touches your feet, taking away all feelings of resentment, anger, or hurt, leaving only peace and forgiveness in its wake. With this calm and peaceful visualization, let's now embark on our story for the evening, a tale steeped in resilience and forgiveness, the legend of Medusa. And in her story, my friends, we will find a powerful parable of transformation and the overwhelming power of forgiveness. Now, dear dream voyagers, let us set sail upon the tranquil sea of legends. The tale we are about to embark upon tonight is set within the alluring confines of ancient Greece, a time when gods and mortals had the intertwined destinies that painted our mythology. Our story centers around a figure you may know, often misunderstood, a maiden named Medusa. Medusa was not always the monstrous figure depicted in Greek mythology. Much like us, she too had a past more complex than it appeared In her early life, Medusa was known for her striking beauty. Her hair, said to be of shimmering gold, rippled down like waves of sun-kissed grain. Her eyes, twin pools of verdant green, fascinated and charmed all who beheld her. But the radiance of Medusa bore a tragic fate. A slew of unfortunate events led her to bear a curse from Athena. Her golden locks were transformed into a horde of hissing, venomous serpents. Those who dare look into her eyes would be petrified, not spellbound by charm, but turned to stone. Though a victim of circumstance, resentment consumed Medusa. The resentment, however, did not arise merely from the curse itself, but from the lack of understanding, compassion, and a most vital ingredient in mending our deepest wounds: forgiveness. That's why, dear listeners, tonight's journey is not just about the tale of Medusa. It brushes past the surface of a tragic tale and glides gently into a deeper exploration of forgiveness. Every tale has a purpose, a lesson subtly woven into the fabric of the story. And tonight, as Medusa's tale unravels under the soft glow of the night sky, we'll delve into the power of forgiveness. So press pause on the world around you and let's embark on the voyage of ancient Greek legends, where every myth unravels a deeper truth. As we dive into the deeper layers of our tale, let us unfurl its underlying theme, which resonates with the power of forgiveness. Each chapter, each twist and turn in Medusa's tale represents a metaphorical guide in our journey towards understanding and embodying such a profound emotion. So why Medusa, you may ask? Well, her story may seem too far removed from the realm of forgiveness at a first glance, pictured with anger, revenge, and melancholy. However, forgiveness is a complex emotion that often demands delving into darker regions before finding the light. It tests our ability to overcome resentment, nurture understanding and love, transforming inner turmoil into resilience and peace. Medusa's story represents the course of human experiences we all face at certain points in life: betrayal, pain, transformation, and the eventual need to forgive or be forgiven. She personifies the pent-up resentment that arises when injustices are endured, and the transformation that occurs, not always into the serene. This transformation parallels our experiences. As we withhold forgiveness, we turn, much like Medusa, into an entity not meant to be. We reside in the darkness of our anger, resentment, and our hearts solidify. Yet this isn't our true nature, just like it wasn't Medusa's. In our tale, Medusa serves as a mirror, highlighting the catastrophic repercussions of holding onto one's deepest resentments. It reveals the dramatic transformation from the person we are to the entity we become, encrusted with anger, lashing out in pain, distorting the image of the person we truly are, or rather the potential of the person we can grow to become, but also contained in the depths of Medusa's story is the character of Perseus and his connection to the theme of forgiveness. He is a hero, yes, yet he's also a complex character who eventually faces a collision with his beliefs and his actions, causing him to grapple with remorse. When we venture into darkness, we encourage a deeper understanding of the light. By delving into the tale of Medusa, we can explore the transformative potential of forgiveness, how it can bring about significant change, allow us to embrace our true self, and to journey towards inner peace. So, remember, dear listener, as we navigate through our tale, Medusa's story is more than a Greek myth. It's a vessel carrying the invaluable lesson of the power of forgiveness. As we journey, remember to breathe, listen, and feel the echoes of her transformations, thus stirring a resonance in us towards understanding, empathy, and forgiveness. Enter, dear sleep seeker, into the world of Medusa. Picture her now, a young maiden living her life in the bustling city state of Athens, the air filled with the scent of olives and warmed by the vibrant Grecian sun. This was a time before her transformation, before the gods changed her destiny forever. Yet, even then, within her lay an untamed strength and a hint of the formidable being she was destined to become. You'd often find Medusa in the temple of Athena, her mind consumed by the divine, her heart pulsing with the rhythm of her unwavering devotion. Athena, the patroness of her city, was her guiding light. She was a vision of respect and love, her hair a lively cascade of golden waves, her eyes feasting on the sacred wisdom contained within these temple walls. But destiny had other plans. It isn't my intention to dwell on the tragic event that disrupted her peaceful life. We know her tale, the defilement of Athena's temple, Poseidon's callousness, Athena's wrath. It led to her transformation into a creature so terrifying that merely looking at her could turn a person into stone. It is here, in the wake of this transformation, where I'd like you to focus most deeply on Medusa. For what can breed in the heart when one is dealt such a misfortune, when a seemingly cruel twist of fate beckons such a mighty change? Resentment towards the ones who wronged her, resentment towards the uncontrollable forces of life. As the saying goes, resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. How heavy the burden of resentment can be, and how destructive. As we walk alongside Medusa on this voyage, Let's gently remind ourselves that, like her, we're all set on different paths by the whims of destiny, but where her tale takes a turn toward darkness, let ours gravitate towards light. Our voyage is towards understanding, acknowledgement, and finally, forgiveness. Acclaimed for her beauty, Medusa was a priestess in the temple of Athena. However, she found herself at the center of Poseidon's desires. Poseidon, disregarding Athena's sacred space, pursued Medusa within the temple walls, leaving the goddess infuriated. Now, listeners, let's take a moment here to pause, close your eyes, and imagine not the cruelty of the act, but focus instead on the serene silence that followed, as the echoes gradually faded into mere whispers. As Athena looked down to see her sacred temple violated, she burned with a righteous fury. However, as is the nature of the gods, they acted not with understanding, but with impulse. Athena, blinded by her anger, punished Medusa by changing the beautiful maiden into a grotesque gorgon, eternally cursed. Leather wings sprouted from her back, while her lovely hair transformed into a writhing mass of snakes. Any living being who dared meet her gaze would turn to stone. In the midst of this transformation, Medusa was filled with despair, and yet our story is still a tale of forgiveness. Even amidst the torment, the anguish, forgiveness was something that lived in her heart. Medusa, tragically thrust from the world of warmth and acceptance, was forced into a life of solitude and fear. She was embalmed in resentment, the bitter poison of grudge seeping into her heart. Yet it is from this very story that we learn the true power of forgiveness, the strength it embodies, and its ability to set one free. Listeners, as you lie there, cocooned in the comfort of your linen, I want you to reflect, drawing a parallel to our own lives. How many times have we, like Athena, acted impulsively, precipitating irreversible transformations in ourselves or others around us? And how often have we, like Medusa, held on to resentment, allowing it to fuel our own sorrow? Transitioning from these thoughts, it's beautiful to realize that even within the constraining stones of anger and bitterness, seeds of forgiveness can sprout, breaking through the hardest rock to bloom towards the sunlight. Let this story urge us to practice forgiveness and understand its power. For Medusa, scarred and changed forever, it was her saving grace. In the end, isn't it always the way with life? The power of forgiveness can be found in the most unlikely places, turning even darkest tales into enlightening guideposts on the journey of life. Medusa, you see, wasn't the venomous vixen from her very beginning. In fact, she was supposedly the only mortal among her sisters, leading a peaceful life, but a tragic incident, a violation in the sacred temple of Athena, led to her transformation into a creature feared by all. This turning point in our story demonstrates how an action not forgiven can mark the beginning of a bitter journey. Now, imagine Medusa post-transformation, a once gorgeous girl, now a gorgon with vipers for hair, eyes that turn men into stone, living in isolation, brewing in bitterness, carrying a storm of resentment inside her. I want you to feel her grief, her sorrow. It's easy to let our minds mold Medusa as a monstrous figure, but isn't that what resentment does to us all? It transforms our perspective, makes us see ugliness where once we saw beauty. It blinds us to the love that surrounds us. Over time, we become oblivious to the joys of life. Medusa became a victim of her own anger and inability to forgive. She once was filled with vitality, laughter, and warmth. But the resentment encompassed her like the darkness envelops the night, making her feel that there was no escape until the possibility of escape came. But we'll get there. For now, let's stay with Medusa, alone in her solitude, pushed away from the world, resentful of her past, an embodiment of terror, struggling with her own humanity. Think on it, dear dreamer. Carry this image with you as we move closer to the heart of tonight's tale. How often have you let the poison of resentment seep into your own life? It's energy consuming. It keeps you attached to a past that brings pain. And dear listener, does it not turn your world to stone? But I urge you, let not resentment overstay its welcome in your heart, for in the end, like Medusa, we too become what we repeatedly feel. Now, let's bring a pause to our engrossing story of Medusa for a few moments. Carefully draw your attention back to your own being, back to the present. As we delve into the folds of this ancient story, it's also important to resurface periodically, gently retracing our steps back to reality, a reality that we can control. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take a voyage, a tranquil journey. Picture in your mind a beautiful Greek temple, standing majestic and unblemished against a sky layered with hues of comforting purples and blues. Marble pillars, carefully chiseled, stand strong and tall, as if tirelessly carrying the weight of the world's wisdom. As you walk towards this serene structure, you feel a cool breeze carrying the fragrance of olive trees that surround you. The temple stands atop a hill, glorious in its solitary existence, overlooking peaceful, rolling valleys as far as the eyes can see. This temple, where once Medusa sought sanctuary, now serves as a sanctuary for you. Peace, tranquility, serenity. It envelopes you as you step onto its cool marble floors, each step echoing a new sense of forgiveness, a new possibility for acceptance. Much like Medusa, we too carry our own temples within us, a sanctum of thoughts and emotions. Just as she failed to recognize her own power, we often fail to acknowledge the power we hold, the power of forgiveness. Thus, this visualization of the Greek temple corresponds to our current tale. It symbolizes the peace we find when we forgive, the serenity we experience when we let go of excessive resentment. As you sit in this grand Greek temple, breathing in the soothing tranquility of your surroundings, let the story of Medusa gently push you towards introspection. Remember, her story isn't just about turning into a monster. It's more about our capability to mutate due to resentment if we do not forgive. You are now standing in an ancient Greek temple, the moonlight glowing through the cracks of the tall stone columns, bathing the surroundings in a soft, ethereal light. The breeze is gentle, carrying with it the light, calming aroma of wildflowers. The trouble with human nature sometimes, dear listener, is that we tend to hold on to things, onto resentments, onto discontents, onto worries. They hang around like unshakable shadows, much like the curse cast upon our heroine Medusa. But let today's voyage be a reminder that it's okay to let go. Right here, right now, in this tranquil Greek temple, give yourself permission to release, even for just a fleeting moment, those worries that have been nesting in your heart. Picture them as tangible objects, perhaps stones of different shapes and sizes. You've been carrying them in your arms. Feel their weight. Really physically feel the burden they represent. Now, one by one, lay each worry, each stone on the temple floor. With each one you put down, you're liberating yourself, lightening the load that holds you back. As each worry stone hits the ground, let it echo in the temple around you, reverberating, then slowly fading into silence. A reminder that those worries are not permanent, that they will pass like the echoes do. Feel that relief, dear listener, the lightness in your soul as you let go of each burden. Oh, what a wonderful testament to the healing power of forgiveness, forgiving our own selves for shouldering too much of the unnecessary. Let the tranquility this Greek temple offers wash over you. This is your sacred space of calm and peace. Embrace that lightness now as we return together to our tale, to Medusa, and discover how she would have to learn to navigate a whole new life in a world that had turned so harsh upon her. As we continue to revel in the soft whispers of this timeless tale, we find Medusa grappling with her sudden, horrific transformation, a curse that once was beauty now sits heavily upon her, like a cloak of despair twisting in the dark abyss of a sea. Her face, once revered, is now only a mirror of revulsion. Grief, anger, and bitterness entwine themselves around her heart, a knot growing harder and thornier with each passing day. And yet, in this newfound solitude and torment, there is also a quiet, albeit unwilling, discovery of inner depths. Locked away from the world in her cavernous hideaway, Medusa is forced to reckon with the loneliness of her existence, faced with the knowledge that her once affectionate and joyful interactions are now memories frozen in time. But as the waves of isolation lap against her hardened heart, they also carve away at the edifice of her bitterness. Torn between her justified anger and the yearning for the warmth of sympathy, Medusa teeters on the brink of self-discovery. Fascinatingly, dear listeners, it is in the throes of this individual torment that our tale brushes against the stroke of irony. Medusa, the feared, the avoided, and the dreaded, finds herself reckoning with an emotion familiar to us all: forgiveness. She begins to understand that while her resentment may be founded, it is merely an anchor trapping her in her melancholic past and preventing her from seeking the warmth of change. She grasps the truth that her strength does not lie in the snakes hissing atop her head, but in her capacity to forgive. Her bitterness begins to shed, and in its place grows a seed of understanding and potential transformation. Just when Medusa is amidst this inner whirlwind, a new player steps onto our mythical stage. A young, stout-hearted hero named Perseus. Unbeknownst to Medusa, her solitude is about to be disrupted, and her journey spiraling towards a momentous climax. But as our focus shifts, let's keep this thought at heart, that forgiveness is not just a word. It's a voyage from bitterness to understanding, from despair to hope. And now, dear listeners, let our journey wade a little bit away from the towering cliffs and snake-ridden caves where Medusa resides. Allow the gentle lullabies of this tale to nudge you to a whole new stage, set on the mesmerizing island of Seriphos, Perseus's homeland. Hear the stirring sound of the Aegean Sea's waves crashing against the shores, the soft rustle of the olive trees permitting nature to lull you further into tranquility. Amid the peaceful dwellings of Seriphos, a young hero named Perseus stood, a resolution burning fierce and clear in his dark eyes. Trapped by the misguided promise he'd made to a cunning king, he had committed himself to an unthinkable task, the beheading of Medusa, much like the turbulent sea that borders the island. Perseus was caught in a storm of emotions. Fear mingled with determination, doubt shadowed by courage, but deep within, unbeknownst even to himself, the young warrior carried with him a powerful weapon, the potential for forgiveness and healing. Little did he know it was not the sword or the reflective shield that would be his greatest weapons, but his inherent capacity to empathize, to forgive. This quest of his, which we will embark on together, dear listeners, is not merely a perilous undertaking for bravado's sake. Rather, it showcases the transformative power of forgiveness, acting as a healer we all have within us, waiting to awaken. As restful as you might be, we find ourselves at the turning point of our tale. Picture, if you will, the warrior Perseus drifting into the dreaded lair of Medusa under the cloak of night. His heart pounded in his chest like the rhythm of a Grecian drum, each beat echoing the direness of his appointed task. With a move as swift as a falcon swooping down on its prey, he used his polished shield as a mirror, avoiding her deadly gaze, and with a stroke of his sword he accomplished the unthinkable feat. As Medusa was defeated, from her head sprouted the majestic Pegasus, a winged horse symbolizing wisdom and fame, unfurling his wings as if embodying the liberation that follows the act of forgiveness. Yet, amidst the victory, our hero Perseus did not revel in joy as one would expect. Instead, a sensation of melancholy washed over him. He looked down and caught the reflection of his weary face on the shield, the same shield he used to face Medusa, now symbolizing something else entirely. Allow yourself to reflect upon this instance, dear listener. Sometimes in life, the conflicts we face, the people we think are causing us distress, often serve as mirrors. These are not simply battles with monstrous adversaries like Medusa, but a journey of self-discovery, a testament to our inner strength and capacity to forgive and to heal. This birth of Pegasus, then, signifies the freedom and wisdom that emerges when we listen to the softer voice within us, which gently encourages us to let go of grudges and practice forgiveness. No matter how harsh the waves of life may crash against us, remember, dear listeners, forgiveness is a beacon of light, guiding us towards a harbor of tranquility and peace. And so, as this comes to a close, allow the soft whisperings of this tale to guide you further into slumber on this cozy voyage towards sleep and towards forgiveness. You've traveled with me through Medusa's life, her loneliness, her resentment, and the inevitability of her end. Like the ocean's waves hitting the rocks, our tale reaches its peak. Perseus, armed with the wisdom of Athena, wielding the sword of will, confronts Medusa, setting her free from her eternal torment. From her arises Pegasus, the winged horse, a symbol of wisdom, liberation, and resilience. Pause for a moment. Feel the release and freedom. Medusa, in a twisted way, has finally been set free from the pain and anger that held her captive for so long. Breathe it in. 1, 2, 3. But the story doesn't end here, dear listener. The subsequent shock waves echo into our theme for tonight, the transformative power of forgiveness. Further, our hero, Perseus, grapples with the actions he's undertaken after his feat. Perseus didn't savor the sweet taste of victory. Instead, remorse filled his heart, for he understood the suffering Medusa had undergone. Her transformation into a monster was not her choice, but a curse she bore. He realized that it wasn't Medusa he had conquered that day, but his own fear and prejudice. What a profound revelation. Like Perseus, often we must confront our own monsters, those of prejudice, resentment, the inability to forgive, before we can move forward. Breathe in deeply now. Pause. And exhale, releasing any tightness, letting go of the resentment. Picture the resentment as a stone in your hand. Feel its weight, and then imagine that it drop. Hear the sound it makes as it disappears in a pool of water. Perseus teaches us that victory lies not in the defeat of others, but in understanding and empathy, and sometimes that brings remorse. A natural reaction. Accept it, learn from it, and then gently let it go. As Perseus did, we too embark on our journey of self-discovery and self-improvement. We remind ourselves that these tales offer us guidance, a light in our path to bettering ourselves and realizing the lessons embroidered in the tapestry of these ancient narratives. Here we are, dear sleepers, at the end of our journey tonight. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered along the way. Medusa, once beautiful, was forever changed and isolated due to heated circumstances. And then there was Perseus, the hero, who, upon defeating her, felt remorse. A vivid tale indeed. But what does all this mean to you? How do all these events spiral into our theme tonight? Let's ponder on this together. In both Medusa and Perseus, we see different sides of resentment and anger. Medusa held onto her bitterness far beyond the point where it served any purpose, consumed by it, until her last day. Perseus, on the other hand, harbored guilt and regret even after his task was completed. These emotions, although different in their manifestation, stem from the same source: inability to forgive, not others, but themselves. To forgive oneself is to set yourself free from the chains of past mistakes and action. It's the first step towards healing, towards a night of peaceful sleep. This brings us to Athena. Athena, the goddess who was at the center of Medusa's curse. It's critical to analyze her role and the lessons around forgiveness that we derive from her actions. Athena, upon seeing Medusa's transformed form and Perseus's remorse, enabled the birth of Pegasus from Medusa's remain. One can only speculate if this was her way of bestowing forgiveness onto Medusa and Perseus. If she, a goddess, can show mercy and forgiveness, can we, as mere mortals, not strive to do the same? Through this ancient legend, we discover that even in our worst moments, even when we let anger and regret consume us, forgiveness can set us free. Forgiveness is akin to the calm after a storm, the peaceful silence that descends and brings with it fresh hope and rejuvenation. Forgiving, dear sleepers, is not a sign of weakness, but rather an act of courage. It does not erase the past, but it does lighten the heart and helps us to move forward, to find inner peace, and to welcome sleep with open arms. So as you lay here tonight, under the cover of darkness and the blanket of stars, let's hold on to the wisdom of our story. Close your eyes and whisper to yourself, I forgive. Let go of any resentment or anger. Let your heart be light, and let sleep envelop you as calming and forgiving as the sea. From our story, let's embark now on the final leg of our sleepy voyage together. My fellow sojourners, close your eyes as we drift towards a tranquil calm, feeling lighter than before, peaceful, serene, and in harmony with the quiet sounds of the world. Now, softly fading into our dreams, in this wrapping calm, let's invite ourselves to participate in a forgiveness and release exercise. Picture in your mind's eye someone or something you hold a grudge against. Could be a person, a situation, or even part of yourself, perhaps. Observe the feelings rising within you. Accept them, don't push them away. Feel them fully, but remember, you are safe, you are calm, and you are at peace in this moment. Now, visualize that grudge in the palm of your hand. Notice its weight, its color, its texture. With every deep breath you take, see this grudge becoming lighter, the colors of resentment fading more with each breath. On your next exhale, with a heart full of forgiveness and understanding, observe as this grudge begins to dissolve in the air, harmless, powerless, until it's completely gone. It's always in our power to release these burdens, these grudges we hold. Like the Greek hero Perseus, we can choose to let go of the past, to find a place in our hearts for forgiveness, and to move forward in life. Perseus found remorse after defeating Medusa. He chose to give a rightful honor to the very creature he was destined to slay. In his heart, forgiveness was his petrifying sword and enlightening shield, as we call it, a knight. Remember this. The power of forgiveness is a soothing balm, a gentle salve for the many wounds we sometimes carry within us. Like Athena, the Greek goddess, we too can be wise and adept at understanding, compassionate and merciful in forgiving. And so our voyage ends for today. As you venture off into the realm of dreams, feel yourself being carried on the wings of Pegasus, your burdens lightened by the powerful act of forgiveness. May you find peaceful sleep and awaken refreshed, ready for the dawn of a new day, equipped with the wisdom our journey together tonight has bestowed upon you. We'll explore more lessons, unravel more intriguing tales under starry skies in our future episodes of Sleepy Voyages. Until then, my fellow voyagers, dwell in peace.